for ignition. Aboard! 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
And these people comprise the famous SG-1, arguably the most important, although not my personal favorite team of the entire command. And we're walking.
You know, we could be walking all the time with Stargate SG-1. Who was her favorite SG-1 team or SGC team? I just got to ask, like, Joe, thank you for joining us tonight. Joseph Malozzi, from executive producer and writer of Stargate SG-1 from season 4 through basically 10, Dark Matter, which I absolutely love. Dark Matter. We want to get you on for a different topic down the road. But like, honestly, this is like one of the best episodes of the season because it totally
don't speak too soon.
And it totally grasps everybody. And we got our full crew tonight. We got a special guest joining us, Joseph Malozzi. Wow.
Hello.
How you been doing today? And this
great. My fantasy football team won, so all is good.
Hey.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome to hear about the fantasy football league. I lost in my fantasy baseball league because the Dodgers won, and I'm like,
sorry,
but I always lose because I go Brewers.
Right. Wow. That was disappointing too.
Oh, that's too bad. Skeeter, Dave, how you guys doing tonight?
Contraya.
Great.
Doing good.
Skeeter's always got to do the Contraya for us. And Joe, before we get into any sort of like episode breakdown here, we got Chain Reaction and got 2010 tonight. But for you, I gotta ask the initial question that we ask all of our guests: what got you into Stargate? Were you a fan before this, or when you got hired, you became a fan and you had to go back and watch a bunch of things?
I've always been a sci-fi fan, mostly books. Growing up as a kid, and I loved the Planet of the Apes movies, and then of course I watched the original Star Trek. And so Stargate SG-1 was a show I was aware of, and I tuned in once. And the episode was so bad, I thought this show is terrible. I can't watch it. It was an episode called Emancipation, season 1.
Oh, bro, you just went point. Lazarus.
Yeah. And then at the time I was working with a writing partner, Paul Mully, and our agent called and was like, "Hey, they're looking for writers on the show Stargate SG-1." I'm like, I can't do it. I've like watched, it's just not for me. And he's like, "Well, look, they sent over some scripts and some episodes for you guys to watch. Just take the time to watch them." And so we did, and it turned out Emancipation was like by far the worst episode the franchise ever produced. That's the one I just happened to watch. And then I forget the episodes I ended up reading and watching, but I thought they were actually quite good. And so we ended up pitching, and they ended up buying one of our pitches at first, which was Scorched Earth. We
Good
wrote
episode.
that, and based on how well we did with that script, they told us to come on board and staff.
I'm a fan of that one personally.
Yeah, me too.
Even though, like, I think Window of Opportunities was the first one to air. That was the
Yeah.
second one. That was also one of our original pitches. And then basically the rest. I think Chain Reaction, the episode we're going to be discussing today, was our 5th episode we wrote for the show.
Man, you had a few episodes in line ready to go. And I hate to say this, but we're gonna full disclosure. Sometimes on this show we talk about like episode orders and where things go. Before we get into like Chain Reaction in 2010, like was there any real discussion about like episode order? I know things were shot in a certain production order. Those don't always get aired in the air order that is wanted. Having been affiliated with, like, say, First Wave and a couple other shows, like 25 years ago, they made it clear, like, sometimes the network wants things in a certain order.
Yeah,
maybe you can explain a little bit of that.
Yeah, just to be honest with you, production is such a machine that I think we were at the beginning we were producing like 22 episodes a season, and I think back then we were premiering in July. It was such a tight window, we couldn't really shuffle episodes around. And to be honest with you, the shows were episodic for the most part, so it didn't really need to. Remember, there's only one incident where the network wanted to push an episode, and that was Satita, Stargate Atlantis. I think season 3
4
or 3. No, I think it was before season 4, because I remember.
I think it was season 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember Rob Cooper, who was the executive producer, really going at it with the sci-fi executives who were really insistent that the episode be pushed back, and Rob was like, no, it doesn't make sense, and he dug in his heel and he ended up winning. So that was the only one that really comes to mind, because it was such like a big deal at the time.
Oh, well, at least there was some leeway with like Showtime back in the day before you went over to Sci-Fi Channel and NBC Universal, or what would become NBC Universal. And having been a fan of Sci-Fi Channel since about like my early college days of 95, I can tell you, they've changed their ways every few years. But I appreciate that they gave like Dark Matter a chance, Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis. Everything you've ever done with Sci-Fi Channel has always seemed to be like, this clicks. Why are you not continuing this? And I'm not trying to like ask any questions about like any of that other like background stuff. This is totally a Stargate show, but I just want to say thank you for coming on with us, and we appreciate the writing and talent you've had. And I've enjoyed like every damn show you've ever worked on, to be frank with you.
Same.
And like, I wish we could have gotten like one more season 11, but I know we got our Arc of
2
Covenant.
movies.
We almost did get a
Arc
season
of
11.
Truth and whatnot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard that story, but when we were canceled after the show's 10th season, Apple actually reached out, and there were discussions with MGM about providing it would have been a first for them, providing an exclusive 11th season of SG-1 exclusively for iTunes. And
Yep, I would have.
Yeah, there were preliminary talks, and then Sci-Fi ended up exercising a clause in the contract that essentially forbade us from taking the show anywhere else. So, that was unfortunate, but what could have been? We came close.
Yeah.
Damn,
My
sci-fi.
God, that just reminds me of the Farscape cancellation. Like, yeah, we didn't really cancel, but the German company actually kind of wanted it canceled. So yeah, we're gonna screw around and do a mini series to wrap it up. And, oh, hey, but that gave us the Ori storyline with Cameron and Claudia. I'm gonna
Claudia
confuse
Black.
names here. Ben
Claudia
Browder
Black.
and Claudia Black. Claudia Black was pre-established, but Ben Browder coming in, I was so freaking happy with the Ori
Yeah.
story. I'm sorry, I'm a fan of that storyline. I know a lot of people aren't, but I thought that was freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I was a big fan of both Ben and Claudia because I was a big fan of Farscape. I mean, like I said, I'm a huge sci-fi fan. And Ben was actually, we had serious discussions internally about Ben for the part of Shepard on Atlantis.
Oh,
but he was
okay.
shooting Peacekeeper Wars at the time.
Oh,
And so, you know, when the role of Cameron Mitchell became available, Ben was the first person we thought of.
nice.
Oh man,
But actually,
that
Ben just texted me. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. You see those kind of parody redneck
Yes.
SG1?
Oh my God,
Yeah,
yes.
he sent me the redneck SG1, which he doesn't
Yes.
appear in, which is crazy because he's like, you know, he's the most southern of them all, next to like Don Davis. And then he sent me the Farscape. They did a Farscape parody as well. Which
Yeah.
is great. Yeah.
The Star Trek ones are good too.
And
Yeah,
all
we
those AIs are just crazy, but they're like, hey, keep the name alive. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
everybody. We can have
Yeah.
some fun with this and just go with it. And man, I'm a nut for Farscape, and then it became a nut of like Stargate. So
Mhm.
I totally
Yeah, we
appreciate
played that AI video on here.
Those redneck
Wow.
videos are fantastic for Stargate. We played that on one of our Skeeter.
Few
Maybe
months
you could
back.
tell me one of our other streams, or was it this stream?
No, we played it on both. We played it on here, and then we also played it on Deadwire. So
Jack was freaking crazy in that one.
The mullet. Amazing.
Guys. Well, as per our usual, Skeeter, Dave, you both got things going on. Skeeter, let's start with you. Are you okay with your 3D printing, or are you on hold for a moment?
no, that piece right there is the last piece for Atlantis. So I finally am done printing Atlantis. Now it's going to take me about a month or so to put it together, wire the lighting into it so it lights up, and then figure, I think this one spot over here on this wall, I'm going to put it up against it and figure out how it's going to hold on to the wall, because it's 3 foot, you know, it's going to weigh quite a bit.
It's either that or approve with the wife. You can move into the other room.
I know. I'm hoping. I've been sweet talking her a little bit, so hopefully I could get to the bigger room, and then we move
Bigger
everything
room.
in there. Yeah, bigger room.
Bigger room.
I gotta find where you gave me that mini
Yeah.
model for Stargate, because I still gotta paint that thing. That's like somewhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
And
You got
Dave,
your Zat.
thank you, Skeeter. I appreciate the Zat and the gun holder you gave me.
Yeah. And Vanessa liked hers.
Yeah, that'll be dropping Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep,
So
Thanksgiving Day.
all you Stargate fans, stay tuned. We got Vanessa Angel coming on for a special interview. No episodes in particular. This is a dossier episode. So we're doing something extra for her. But Supreme Commander Thor, Master Dave, because you got all 4 names involved in your name. What you working on? Because you do every Stargate frame in order, HD style, on Twitter.
Yes.
And we want to make sure we give you a shout out, and your brother, Stargate Atlantis guy.
Yeah. So we are working through Prisoners. We are probably about 1/3 of the way through. They met
Linnea.
Linnea, an innocent old woman who
No,
does absolutely
Scott.
nothing wrong. So yeah,
No
follow
spoilers.
me.
No
Daniel-
spoilers for this 30-year-old show.
Yeah, I know, right? So-
future love interest for Daniel.
I know. Oh,
Oh,
now,
man.
if you want to talk about episodes that I think should have been changed. Episode order. That one should have been changed, but we've talked about that when we did that one. But yeah, so Prisoners, and over on every SGA frame in order, my buddy John is doing Hide and Seek.
Nice.
Oh, he's moved through
Classic.
season 1 now, finally, after
Yep.
he got through Rising.
Yeah, he was working out his own system for Rising.
Frame
And
orders.
he got, he's got it figured out now.
So, Super Commander Thor and his buddy do like every frame, like off the
actually,
Blu-ray
I
or the
believe they follow.
HD,
Yeah,
and
nope.
they
I
post it so they can, if you want to make a GIF or
Mhm.
like an image or anything like that, you can absolutely do that off of Twitter. Highly recommend you go check out Dave and his buddy SGA Frame in Order.
I believe I followed them already.
yes,
Or at least
you
David.
do follow me, and I definitely follow you.
Yep. And I've been
And
voting for Destiny to win that competition.
Oh man,
What?
Checked
Dude,
in.
I
last
can't
2
wait for
days.
the Gay World model to come in from the Destiny. I'm gonna scream like a freaking teenage girl when that happens.
That'll be awesome.
But I'm gonna get that Destiny gate before it happens. But before we get to all of that, like there is no really like new news. Gate World, Dial the Gate have some fun, awesome interviews and some new headlines every once in a while. Highly recommend you all go check out Gate World and Dial the Gate. And also, if you're not following Joe on freaking Twitter, like get your ass over there. Come on, really.
yeah, he
He's
has
got
some of the.
food stuff. He's got some Stargate stuff. He's got dark matter stuff, which that is one of my favorite shows. And seriously, I'm sorry we're not talking about dark matter. I want to
We
ask
will.
you
I
questions
have
about that
plenty to
one
say about
so
Dark Matter
bad
too.
because
when
I
the time
love that
comes.
show, and season 3 was awesome.
Thank you.
This is Stargate.
Yeah. Also on Twitter, I've been doing polls lately. So essentially,
Yes.
we did the ship poll where basically we have to pick our ship, and I think it was like 32 ships faced off in the Enterprise D one. So that's our
Yep.
ship, and now we're
Oh.
choosing captains. We're in the Sweet 16, and 16 captains or commanders or what have you will face off, and only
Yeah,
one
you
will
had like
be left standing.
Andromeda, Kevin Sorbo versus Jean-Luc
Yeah.
Picard. And I'm like, oh no, what is happening here?
It's seeding. It's tournament seeding, and so we're working our way through. We're going to have science officers, first officers,
Nice.
aliens, androids, the whole crew will be working our way through.
Nice.
So go vote.
Hey, you got a great when you do your polls and you do your food posts. My wife loves the food posts. I love the
Great,
sci-fi
great.
stuff, and I try
I'm
to
very
chime in when I
inclusive.
can. They're all fantastic. And
Yeah.
to be frank, Kevin Sorbo Andromeda was great for me. It was great for about 3 seasons, and then I kind of got a little with it at the end. But I love the cast, love the show. It's fantastic. I would definitely keep it in my collection.
I've not watched a show. I've heard the original showrunner
Robert
parted
Hewlett
ways
Wolf.
with parted ways with the production like halfway through season 2, which is kind of crazy. But apparently
you can
he
tell the
imagined-
difference actually.
Yeah, he like the way he talked in interviews, it seemed like he had like a game plan, if you will. And it was a serialized story. And ultimately the production company wanted something else, sadly. And so he parted ways and the show changed creatively. And I can tell from the fan response, it did not change for the better.
I watched it all the way through the end. To be frank, like I thought through season 3 was fine. Season 4 and 5 was like mitigating, like diminishing returns, so to speak. But before we get into like our episodes here, just a quick question with you, Joe. When you went from like, because you started with the Stargate SG-1 with Showtime, and you went over to Sci-Fi Channel, what was that kind of transition like for you?
Well, we joined the show in SG-1's 4th season, and we were told the shows go usually 5 seasons at that time for like syndication, put together a syndication package, 100 episodes, and then we'll be done. And we're like, okay, fine. So we were guaranteed work for 2 seasons. And then as season 5 was drawing to an end, we heard that we're going to be picked up for a 6th and final season from sci-fi. And so we were like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise. And so we're going to do 1 more season. That would be that. And it was, yeah. And then I remember walking to Brad's office. He's like, what do you guys think about a 7th season? Because the ratings were that good. And, you know, we used to say we kind of saved the network or their network or put their you know, their name on the map at the time. And so season 7, and then we did season 8, and then we did season 9, and every year we worked towards what we assumed would be a series finale. And every year we learned that we were coming back until the final season, which was season 10, when the only season where I personally thought we would be back for season 11, and that's when we were canceled.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horrible.
One season you're not worried about.
Yeah. I remember they announced it at I think it was like the 300th anniversary party. One of the executives from MGM announced that we were canceled, and there was so much noise in the room that I don't think anybody really understood or heard him. And I remember turning to Paul and I was asked, did he just announce our cancellation? And it turns out, yes, that we were canceled. But the only good thing that came from that cancellation was the fact that Rob Cooper was able to write a proper series finale for the show. Whereas in the case of Atlantis and Universe, we had no way of knowing at the end whether we would be back or not. And, you know, we weren't able, given the opportunity to actually write a proper series finale.
Real quick, were you involved with any part of Atlantis or Universe? At that point, I felt like you were more involved with like Amanda's show. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Sanctuary?
Sanctuary, yes.
I had nothing to do with Sanctuary. I never watched a show.
Okay, never mind.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass.
No, I don't. No, maybe you're thinking of Damien Kindler.
Oh, that's what it is.
Right.
Because I was watching Dark Matter and I'm like, man, I love this show. Because you guys had Roger Cross on and I was just a total fanboy.
Roger's
He was on First Wave and on Stargate. And I'm like, I had actually interviewed that man once. And he's like, you need to watch Stargate. He's one of the pushing voices that told me to watch Stargate back in the day.
Great. He's great.
Yeah, good man. Guys, got any other questions for Joe before we get into some episodes here?
Not that I can think of at the moment. I didn't have anything written up for that. You kind of ran over questions I thought of. So
I have a few questions, but I think they can maybe wait till we start talking about.
You mean his actual chain reaction episode, everybody?
Yeah.
Because chain reaction.
Here
SG-1 must adjust to a new commanding officer when General Hammond steps down, but O'Neill discovers foul play behind the general's resignation. And I gotta admit, this is one of those first episodes I saw when I was in Vancouver, and I got to visit a couple of different sets back in like 2000, and I was told by Rainmaker Digital, you better watch this show. The first episode was obviously, of course, Crossroads, and then Divide and Conquer. But in Canada, in Vancouver, they got 5 stations airing Stargate all over the place. And I think Chain Reaction was probably the follow-up after Divide and Conquer. I think it was Space the Imagination Station, to be frank with everybody. But this was like the 3rd episode I watched, and it won me over. Now, Joseph, you wrote this one with Paul. I'm going to ask you first. Do you have any fond memories of this one? Because this wasn't your first script, but it was one of the primary episodes we all like, hey, this is Earth-based. What's going on here?
Yeah, this was our 5th episode for the show. And to be honest with you, I mean, I rewatched the episode for the first time since I worked on the show. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever watched a finished episode, just because when you're in production, I mean, you're watching dailies, you know, so the raw footage that comes in every day, and then you watch the director's cut, and then you watch the various producers' cuts, and then you watch the mixes. By the time you know the episode is finished, you've already watched it so many times that you don't really want to watch it again. So it was great to kind of refresh my memory, you know, about this episode, and just like I just kind of took notes on the side. It was interesting seeing the gate room. Because the thing that struck me about the gate room is I remembered how we ended up just changing it over to become the Icarus base for the universe pilot. So that was the exact same stage. The gate stayed where it was, and you know, and everything else about it changed, that room. You know, also one of the things that kind of struck me was I remember the really cool thing about the SG-1 gate, like the universe gate, was that it, you know, I call it an actual working gate. You couldn't actually travel to other planets, but it actually, you know, spun. Whereas the Atlantis gate looked more like something you'd find in like kind of an alien casino, just kind of boop, 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 lights up.
I like how you put that.
Yeah, I was not as big a fan, but I love that SG-1 gate, and I also have to say I love the steampunk universe gate as well.
The SG-1 is definitely my favorite. It's the original. It'll never be surpassed in my head.
Well, in that photo, in that frame is obviously Amanda Tapping as Samantha Carter, but also Dan Shea, aka Sergeant Seiler, who was our stunt coordinator, for many years, and he was a buddy of Martin Wood, director Martin Wood, and Martin would do cameos. All the directors did their kind of forms of cameos. Martin Wood and Peter DeLuise as directors do actually on-screen cameos as, you know, background characters. Martin Wood was Major Wood, and he was a big fan. He was a good friend of Dan's, and so he would invite Dan to appear in the background with his big wrench. And that was kind of the running gag with Sergeant Seiler, and he began to get noticed, of course. Over time, the fans noticed him, so he was throwing a line here and there. So, you know, it's nice to see Dan.
Yeah.
I think he was actually introduced the big wrench finally in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Which is totally funny.
Yeah, it's always funny to spot Martin. It's like, he's not in every episode, but he's in a few.
Yeah, the one that Peter directs, he's usually in. The one that Peter directs is usually in. And Will Waring directed, never made a personal appearance, but his signature pineapples always made an appearance in the episode.
That explains them. That explains
that's a mark of a Will Waring episode.
So what's your appearances or little tokens in the background?
No, there was nothing. I just contributed the scripts. I did a cameo in
200. 100.
Wormhole. Yeah, Wormhole.
What the beginner's luck to Latin by Dr. Joseph.
Oh yeah, so there's also that. In fact, that book's sitting in my mother's basement. Still.
That's cool. You got that.
Yeah.
Well, and they did in Tangent. They did the Moons of Tishnor, which I've remembered since like the first episode aired. I'm like, I actually know that guy. I met him for like 20 seconds, but still, like,
there was always a lot of that. I think in this episode, there's a point where Mayborn is on a computer, and the username is Menard.
Yeah,
who was our director of photography, Jim Menard.
I seen that.
I just watched that episode, that episode today, and it's like, Menard. I was like wondering who was that? I knew it had to probably be somebody. Okay, nice.
Oh man, I love the dog in this one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So the dog Oscar was named after exec producer Robert Cooper's dog at the time, Oscar.
Oh,
also
that's cool.
Bit of trivia that I'm sure
no
one knows about. this is, you know, the opportunity to get all the secret, the inside stuff, the important stuff, like dog names and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Whose
love
dog?
trivia.
Yeah. Whose dog was it? Was it Rick's?
No, it was Robert. Oh, that particular dog? I don't recall. I think it could have been Rick's. I forget what kind of a dog was it. Was it an Australian?
Yep.
Yeah.
Australian
that would have been
Shepherd, yep.
Rick's. Yeah, that would have been Rick's dog. Yes.
Yeah, I thought I saw that like the other day when I was doing some hindsight research just to try to be prepared for you. I'm like, it is Rick's dog, and its name is Oscar, and I'm like, no wonder why he's so friendly with Rick.
Oh yeah. I just scrolled down to the notes, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
That
production
Oscar
notes.
belongs to.
We do go to Gate World, everybody. Just fair warning. That's where I read my synopsis from, and we go by them because they've been around for over 26 years.
They have. I feel like they're almost as old as the show, the franchise.
Yeah.
Just about. And we've had Darren and David on. They're fantastic people. And
They are.
they've got us on. And they highly acclaim you. Like, they speak very highly of you. Like, you're a very nice guy. And I'm like, man, did I screw up on our schedule before? But it's okay otherwise.
It is okay.
But
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
it's no worries. Like Eastern versus like I'm in Arizona and half these guys are in the Midwest, drifting zip zones and zip codes.
Well, thanks for making an early night of it.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Hey, no problem. Like we'll talk afterwards. And this is recorded. We're not live or anything, so I can clip anything out. If you say something and you're like, I didn't mean to say that, I can clip it out.
Sure.
And that means 32 minutes. I need to clip my own ass saying that out. But when it comes to chain reaction, we got like Mayborn, we got Jack O'Neill, we got these two powerhouses that have been like circumventing each other for like seasons at this most. And after the Foothold episode, I'm like, oh, I thought Mayborn was turning the corner. Oh no, he's still a bastard.
Yeah.
And we do try and keep things PG-13 around here. But man, seeing Mayborn back just made me so happy after the Watergate episode. I was pretty happy with that. And favorite parts or favorite moments of this episode, everybody? Joe, let's start with you. You actually wrote this one. Do you have any favorite parts about this episode that you're like, yeah, that's me?
Well, my favorite part is really just the end with Mayborn and some unnamed tropical island, presumably. It looks very like overcast Vancouver. You know, just having the time of his life and, you know, thanking Jack and for giving essentially the opportunity to escape. And he's a free man. I love Mayborn, the lovable rogue. And, you know, we did... you know, we wrote "It's Good to Be King" for him as well.
Oh,
fantastic in that. Just like a
great
very
episode.
fun character. Just kind of my favorite kind of characters who are kind of, you know, not good guys, not quite bad guys, but you know, shades of gray.
Yeah, he's under my favorite villain list on TV shows. I hate him, but that's what I love about him is how much I hate how he is.
Yes.
So, and even this photo I have in my notes too, saying how he's kind of pulling that Hannibal Lecter look at the end.
Yes, exactly.
Sons of the Lambs, and I'm like, boy, this is almost really close wardrobe area.
I was reading that in the production notes on Gate World, like, for Joseph Malozzi's blog, there's a little Sons of the Lambs motif going on here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome. I love that. So.
Yeah, and like there's so many good moments about this particular episode. I love Senator Kinsey coming back and be like, oh, I guess I'm running for president now, which carries off into the next episode, which at this point, I feel like the episode orders, like, I've nagged on episode orders for like seasons 2 and 3, but this season is like, aside from one episode, I
Mhm.
feel like everything is parried and it backs off each other for
Mhm.
like the
Mhm.
rest of the season. And I think it's
Right.
fantastic because
Yeah.
seeing like Senator Kinsey in the next episode after this episode made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, Ronnie is a terrific actor, and you know, in those early years, I didn't really get down to set. I didn't really get to talk or meet any of the guest stars just because we were so busy in our offices writing scripts. And I was in LA. I want to say something like 8 years ago, and I actually had a pitch, and so I had some time to kill beforehand. So I went to have lunch at some little diner. And as I was going out, Ronnie Cox was coming in, and I was like, "Hey, Ronnie," and I introduced myself. I was like, I knew we never met, but I worked on Stargate, and he was like, he was like, I had the best time working on Stargate. Everyone was so nice to me, which is, to be honest with you, I was to learn later in my career, kind of like atypical. He said, whenever he had a scheduling conflict, the production always found a way to make it work for him, and he just had really great memories about working on the show, which is great to hear many years later.
That is actually one of my questions is
Mhm.
when you have an actor like Ronnie Cox and he's got two like smaller parts,
Mhm.
like he's in the back, probably I'd say 1/4 of Chain Reaction, and he's got a wee little introduction in 2010. Do they film those? Do they try and get them filmed at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. Rather than flying him back and forth, I would imagine that his scenes for 2010 were shot within the production schedule of Chain Reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just
Fireside
he's on
chat with
screen.
Ronnie Cox as your
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
I could not see anything wrong with this.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Oh man,
Kinda had
that
to
first
love it.
time I saw that threw me for a loop. I'm like, what's going on?
That's one of the other things that won me over with this show is like, get Ronnie Cox and you actually have a coherent story. Oh my God, I need to go back and watch this because Joe, like, frankly, my introduction was called Lazarus, and I'm like, I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not interested
Yeah.
in this show until I went to go visit like some other shows. I ain't gonna go into that story again.
Well, it's funny because I look back in the old days, it would take like a season or two for shows to find their legs.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you can't afford, just because the episode orders are so truncated, and shows don't run like so many seasons anymore. You have to prove yourself out of the gate, and if you don't, then you're done. So they never really had that luxury. Of course, like all shows will go through growing pains in the beginning, but really not as much as in the old days, I found.
Yeah, I'd even argue like I've always had this opinion, like it's 2 to 3 seasons before a show finds its legs.
Mhm.
Then you got 2 awesome seasons, and then you go from there based on because X-Files proved it, Star Trek proved it. 7 seasons, you're done. 3 seasons is like where you start to find your fandom. And I argue with Stargate, SG1 season 1 is like, I like it, but SG seasons 2 through 5 are where I'm like, this is what you won me over with. Because you have a coherent story, you're making your own story, you have your own identity, and you have quality freaking writing and awesome actors who can deliver and directors who can give you what you need for not just a syndicated show, but a show on Showtime that ends up going to syndicated to pick up like everybody else. And outside of Children's of the Gods, which I know Brad Wright is like, I wish we never shot this one particular scene. And it's like some of us like that because we were teenage boys, but some of us understand like that's not what this show is about and never needed to be about. And it excelled on its own. And by like this season, even I gotta admit, this is what I got introduced to, season 4. This is freaking awesome. And just understanding that the writing had improved, they brought in some more appropriate, and I hate to even say it like this, but like a writers who are understanding the franchise, who understand the characters. And we had some like off episodes the previous seasons, but this season felt like the most consistent there was. And bringing you and Paul on, I think, and I know Jonathan Glasner was leaving at the same time. It's like, oh man, I like all three of you. What do I do here? But by this point in the season, halfway point, I think y'all found your footing and you hit the ground running from there on. So I really appreciate, I got so many favorite moments out of Chain Reaction. Like we'd be here for another hour and a half, just me talking on my own. Ronnie Cox, Richard Dean Anderson, the gentleman who played Mayborn, Tom Macbeath. Like, and you even had Walter in this, and that's usually our pullback on points on this episode. If you don't got Walter in this, what's going on? But in the next episode, he actually gets named Walter. So I totally appreciate that. And so this is like one of the best episodes I saw, because the next episode that follows it, when I first time watched it, 2010, I'm like, oh, you guys were thinking ahead. Like, oh no, what is going on? And Skeeter, I don't want to take away from anybody else on this panel. Skeeter, you got any favorite moments about this before we get to some favorite quotes?
Yeah, like you were saying, we meet General Bauer right away, played by Lawrence Dane, who has been in Scanners, Ride a Chucky, Happy Birthday to Me, and It Takes Two. I was shocked the very first time I watched this. I watched these when they first aired, and when I saw the team being split up, it broke my heart. I was like, oh, the show's done. Yep, this is it. It's over. But no, I was wrong. Soon as by the end of the episode.
I'm glad you were wrong, Skeeter.
I was too. Me too. I was very happy. I mean, I was like, Bauer is like, oh, I hated him, but he's still less of a dick than Mayborn. So he's got that. He does come around near the end, but another one was, here's Hammond at his house, which the pond looks familiar. Did he buy the other side of Jack's?
I guess so. He lives across the lake from
That's
Jack's.
a good question.
So I was kind of curious. This had to have been filmed really close, because I'm an outdoorsman and I recognize the water, the trees around. And I'm like, wait a minute. This has to be like on the opposite side of that pond. If not,
very likely. Very likely. I don't recall, but I'm sure it was. By the way, those two girls, Donna's, General Hammond's granddaughters, were actually executive producer Brad Wright's daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on them, so I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
me neither. I was trying to look too.
Yep, I was trying to see if one of them was Richard's daughter, but no, couldn't find nothing.
I think the dog was his dog, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Mayborn back, but like everyone knows, he's my favorite bad guy. I hate him, but that's what I love about him, is I can hate him and still appreciate what he does for a character. So
unless he hands you a beer.
Yeah, unless beer and mustard diet.
That's been chilled for probably about 2 years that he's been in prison.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't been in prison that long. He only got thrown in prison after Watergate.
Yep.
Which was this season.
Thank you, Marina Sirtis. We love you.
Yep. Then we also see that his apartment is every woman's nightmare.
I love
it. Let's go.
It's a great bachelor pad. You got your computer, you got your fridge, your TV. What else you need?
Got a
fireplace.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's got the wall sconce going on. You know, I mean,
hey, and a CRT monitor for his computer.
Yep.
Hey, it's the internet, baby.
So yeah. Then later on, we see Kenzie's back. Then we meet Mrs. Kenzie for the first time, I believe. Yeah, first time. played by Patty Allen, who's been on the 4400, The Secret Adventures of Jules Verne, The Killing Cryptic, which I liked.
I remember her from Secret Adventures of Jules Verne
Yep,
because
that too.
I secretly love that show.
I do too. So, but then we get on, the bomb takes off way great, and Bauer's realizing he should have worn his brown pants that day when the bomb went totally wrong and destroying the whole planet. And the team was having fun, like, see, idiot, we told you. I love that whole scene there. And then finally we get Hammond back and Mayborn pulling off his beautiful Hannibal Lecter look. So, wrong slide. There we go.
Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie. This whole scene with the tropical island in Jamaica and the girl he walks off with, I tried to clip that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna do this picture too. And you did it too.
Yeah, I did too, which I thought was funny. So I was like, yeah, we both have the same mind frame. We don't talk about what photos or clips we're doing. We just find out when we get here. But that's all I had for my favorite scenes.
Joe, I know you wrote this episode, but do you have a particular favorite scene that you saw come to life in this particular one? Or were you particularly proud of this particular script? Or was there an episode that you're like,
No, I was proud of this episode insofar as it in kind of a roundabout way was a Hammond episode. And what I loved about the show was an ensemble cast, even though Richard Anderson was a star. We like to sort of, try to sort of give every character their spotlight episodes. And this was kind of a General Hammond episode in that we find a little bit about his personal life. And I remember actually Dawn coming up to the office and thanking us, which, I was really pleased with. So that was my takeaway from this episode. Just I remember fond memories of Dawn. Also, one of the high points of the episode for me is the fact that a United States senator, in retrospect, has like I think a 5-letter, 1-word password on his computer, which is
Oscar.
Fantastic. Yes.
You would be surprised. You wouldn't. You would? I don't know. Would you or would that happened a lot back then? Like in the early days, the early days of the internet. People just didn't think that far ahead. Like,
I'll confirm that from my own ass. I had some bad passwords, man.
I did too. Yeah, I had some just so simple. I had 1, 2, 3, 4 as my password for a while. So,
mine from when the internet came out in the 90s, my password was Blabber and Blatherskite. So for the longest time.
I don't think anybody would have guessed that.
That's that's from DuckTales. So that was the secret word you had to say to become Roboduck. So yeah, no one would have.
Joseph, don't talk about passwords from years ago. They might come around.
Right.
Don't dox yourself, bro.
Yeah. Snip that out.
But honestly, this is a great General Hammond episode. And if I remember right from when I was reading on Gay World and some other your own blog, Joseph, this is one of his favorite episodes, and he's a bit of a foodie too. So I kind of got a kick out of catching that the other day, and I'm like, man, more of this, please, because my wife and I ended up watching Twin Peaks not too long ago, and we saw him in there, and I'm like, it's General Hammond, and she's like, oh, shut up with that. Every episode he was in, I kept screaming, General Hammond, General Hammond. She's like, shut up, shut up.
My wife does the same
I know
thing.
it's Stargate,
I know it's not Stargate related, but if you go over to every Twin Peaks frame and order, General Hammond is on there right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out.
Major Briggs.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. But, there is a lot to like about this episode. I like the in-depthness, and we're Earth-based on this. This is the first time I felt like, okay, this show can be Earth-based when it needs to be, because, of course, CGI budgets in general. I'm not going to ask you, Joseph, about budgets. Don't worry about that part.
I
but I feel like you want to save up for the big moments. And we just had one out of what was it, Tangent and Everybody, where Apophysis ship had the whole fleet cloaked and uncloaked, and then they all took the minefield in hand. Then we come to this episode, and it's a bit of a let's breathe for a moment, but let's also remind you there is some craziness going on Earth with not just with the NID. There might be other things going on at play. And we just had the curse. We had Darren on from Get World from that, talking about the curse and Cyrus and everything. And then we get to this, and it's like, this is a nice step back, but also keeping the interesting narrative going forward. Like, there's always something going on here.
Yeah.
We're never just relaxing. We can take a step back, we can breathe, but then we're going to start ramping things up, because in the next episode in 2010, even though it's a little bit of a bottle episode, this feels like it's pushing into that in a very nice and narrative way. And I appreciate the writing staff. And guys, unless you got anything else to talk about the good, let's talk about some favorite lines.
What about these awesome glasses that Hammond's got with the
great
rubber
picture
ducks
too that we actually have in this house. I should. But Thor, you usually have some lines, and I finally got some clips uploaded.
Yeah, I got 4 clips for this one that I found. Like, not necessarily my favorite lines, but some of my favorite scenes. Play clip 1.
My word is useless. You want hard evidence. You're gonna have to get me out of here for a few days.
Are you nuts? Do you know how many strings I'd have to pull to make that happen?
One big one. If I know you're prepared to do it, Jack, you wouldn't be here otherwise. I won't bother to say you can trust me.
I love that.
So good.
That is so Batman and Joker. Like, whether it was intentional or not, don't disclose it, but like, that is so, your villain is only as good as his good guy. And I love the dialogue. Those two look like they are having the best time.
Oh yeah, they always have a great time together.
Well, I'm gonna razz you. Oh, you want a beer?
Yeah.
Jack's probably like, no.
So did you, like, this is the first time I think you wrote Mayborn. Did you have to do any kind of like extra research for that one, or?
I mean, we watched the Mayborn episodes. That was our research, reviewed them, and wrote accordingly.
Well, you did an excellent job.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I mean, in that first season, we wrote the scripts, but Brad and Robert always did the final passes. It's like the same, on Dark Matter. Since I was a creator, I had all the character voices in my head, so I would always do dialogue passes on all the scripts. So the same way, basically for the first couple of seasons, anyways, until Brad and Robert felt comfortable enough for us to just have at it. They always we're kind of careful to sort of ensure that all the characters sounded consistent.
Super quick question. The Foothold episode, because if you're talking about Mayborn, you're talking about the little bit of the Foothold episode. I'm not going to peg you on this one, but I'm going to ask, like, was there any thought when you watched that episode, like, maybe we could do this down the road? I'm not asking if there was one. I'm just asking if that popped into your head at all.
Yeah, we were always thinking about obviously ideas for new episode, because those 22 episodes a season is a lot, especially when you're doing episodic storylines. And I remember at the end of season 4, Paul coming into my office and saying, if this show gets another season, I don't know how we do any more episodes. I'm all tapped out of ideas at the end. Right. But we found that it actually, while it didn't get easier, it wasn't as hard as we thought to come up with story ideas, just because as the show goes on, you've laid so much groundwork and mythology that you're able to sort of go back and kind of explore storylines that you've already, stories you've already told. And so we would do a fair amount of that. Although for me, my favorite were always the type of stories that were purely standalone, like more that lean more into the heavy sci-fi than the mythology, rather than what came before. It just kind of like they were more kind of episodic, standalone episodes, like the team goes off world, gets into trouble, and something happens. I forget what. Oh, Revisions was a good example of one.
Okay.
Of that one, I think that was later, season 7. I think they go to that kind of planet, or where the city is in a hermetically sealed bubble, and they don't realize that the people have kind of a neural link that rewrites their memories. So that was a fun episode. There's another one. I think it was Orpheus. No, Morpheus, as opposed to Orpheus.
Yep.
One where basically they're, I think it was a kind of a sleeping sickness.
I like
pure
that
sci-fi stories are the ones that I always enjoyed most.
Yeah, no, I love Revisions. That's one of my favorite episodes. Just like 2010, I love that episode too. That's coming up. It's one of my favorites.
Yes,
and I mean,
Chain
Reaction is good too, but like 2010 was one of those episodes that really spoke to me with the whole, like, just the insidious nature of a patient race that's willing to just wait it out. We're going to genocide you, but you won't notice it for the first 10 years.
This 2010 is actually one of my, I think, top 5 favorite SG1 episodes.
All right, cool. Is Jeff back? Oh yeah. If you want to play clip 2, an old friend.
Yeah. Guess Jeff's doing something here. Old friend, you said?
Yeah.
Let me see if it is.
Clip 2.
Clip 2. Okay. Sorry, I just hopped back on to here. Clip 3. Clip 2. Nope. It's clip 1. Oh, God. We didn't put them in order. Oh, here we go.
We have to connect someone with significant influence to the online websites. The only way to do that now is straight through one of the high-profile associates.
Who are we talking about here?
An old friend.
Izzy, the hot dog.
Yeah.
Like, matter of fact.
The line before, there's something about you that just puts me off my feet. I would have put that whole clip in, like that whole scene in if I could have, but it's just a little bit too long. Clip 3, he has guests.
Scooter, you got that? Or?
Yep, I got it.
He has guests. Tell him he has 2 more.
What the hell are you doing here?
Our invitations must have got lost in the mail.
This is not a good time.
Who is it, dear?
A couple of old friends.
Afternoon, ma'am. I'm Mr. Starsky. This is Hutch.
I love that.
The reference floors me because then Senator Kinsey has to explain, like, there was a TV show here.
Oh, they're actors. Whose idea was it for them to, like, call each other Starsky and Hutch? Because they do reference it later as well.
Yeah, that was, I think, either Paul or Robert Cooper.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
It's quick enough. You can get away with that.
And clip 4, voters are too stupid.
I doubt very much your constituents could say the same about you.
Oh, please, given the chance, half of all American citizens won't even vote. And the half that do vote are too stupid to know what they're doing.
Which explains how you got elected.
Well,
typical politician.
Yeah. I know that's probably what they actually think too. So it's very accurate.
Kind of is, actually. That's writing that is timeless, I would call
it. Those are my clips for Chain Reaction.
Joe, you actually wrote this episode. Do you have a particular favorite, like, line or dialogue scene in this one?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. In terms of lines, probably.
Or anything
nothing
that
comes
sticks
to
out in your
mind.
mind otherwise.
No, that was pretty much it. Like I said, it was the first time rewatching the episode since way back in the day, and it was kind of a pleasant surprise. Kind of how much I enjoyed it, and just all the stuff we talked about. The password, the SGC. Also, one of the things I kind of got to laugh at is in that third scene where Jack and Mayborn are eating in the park. They're having hot dogs from a place called Mr. Tube Steak.
Steaks, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
which I remember Carl Binder, one of our writer producers, found all sorts of hilarious since it's a kind of a euphemism. But it was an actual hot dog cart in Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Was there anything, Skeeter? Did you have any other favorite?
This is like, I could have quoted all day long on this because there's so many good lines, whether they're funny or serious and that. But my wife was asking me what I was doing, why I stopped after the first episode. She goes, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I got to edit down. I got so many lines. I got to cut them down. So
dialogue rich. Good problem to have.
It is. And I love episodes where I run into too many lines and I got to cut it down because then I know it was wrote really well. First one was Jack with Hammond in his office. He goes, General, need I remind you that I was retired? Some things are worth changing your plans. I love that because it's like, he's like, come on, you look, I did it, got pulled back in, come back, just come back. So I love that. Another one was when he's talking to Bauer and he's like, if it wasn't for SG-1, you'd have a snake in your head instead of your head up your ass.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That is one of my favorite lines.
That was like sticking it to him, and I loved that. Jack walking into the apartment. Have you heard of IKEA? And then he says, I see you're on the famous beer and mustard diet.
Hey, most of us bachelors have been on that diet. Let's be fair. Let's be real here.
Yeah, there's like 4
then
months.
We get wives and we get educated to real food.
There's 4 months when I lived off ketchup and hot water. So I had tomato soup all the time.
Hey, dude, check out Joseph Malozzi's Twitter. Fancy food all the time.
I know my wife and I are foodies. We love trying all kinds of stuff. So I'll be definitely checking out more of those, and we're going to try making them.
Just saying.
We already covered Mr. Starsky and Mrs. Hutch. And then Kenzie telling his wife later on, honey, Starsky and Hutch are names of a TV show. And she's like, oh, so you're actors. Like, right over her head.
But it also felt like code. Like she understood because the second they started walking up the stairs and she turned around, she's like, shoot, we
need to call the guys in
about this. And she called them in.
Yep. But that's, like I said, I cut down my list. I cut 3/4 of it off because there's so many good lines and scenes in it. So that's all I had.
Yeah, I don't have too much for this episode. I got more for the next episode, but all the line, like the writing in this is on point. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up butts asses, but like Joe, when Jonathan Glassner left, what was it like for you coming in with like you and Paul? Like this is a whole new season and you're pivoting to like a little something different. This is probably the last question I'll ask you about like any sort of like shift in show until we get to like a later season. But with season 4, when you came on with Paul, like what was this like for you? Was there a little bit of vacuum, or did you feel like we got this, we understand the characters, we can do this?
No, this is our first season, and to be honest with you, we didn't really notice any change because we weren't involved in season 3. So for us,
right,
we just kind of went in and Brad and Robert kind of laid out what they were looking for in terms of story and tone. and we just kind of wrote to that, and sort of it kind of just got easier over time. So it wasn't overwhelming at all. I mean, we by that point we'd kind of watch the shows and familiarize ourselves with the characters. So coming up with the ideas was always tough. Writing a script is never easy, I would say, but it certainly was not overly daunting.
So follow up. Did you have like a show Bible to follow? A lot of stuff to make it easier for you.
Yeah, I think for the first two seasons we were on a show, they had the Bible that they would constantly update, and then I think by the end of season 5, the show Bible was actually probably longer than the actual Holy Bible, and at that point they kind of retired it. And just because Gay World did such a great job, and I think Kate Ritter was the one who put together the kind of the whole kind of like what was it, the Stargatepedia or whatever, and so we would just direct potential new writers to Gate World because it was just so much easier rather than handing them like a big collated Bible.
You hear that, everybody? Head on over to Gate World. Shout out to our brother Darren and our brother David. Dial the Gate. Fantastic people, great interviews, great everything. Well, is there anything you guys didn't like about Chain Reaction while Joseph's on stream? You are on record now, guys. And we're going to start with you, brother.
Yeah,
throwing you under the bus.
Yeah, I know. There's actually really nothing that I don't like about this episode. This is a great episode. I love Mayborn. Walter's there at the beginning. Always good to have Walter. And yeah, no, there's nothing I would really change. And this is one of those episodes I never skip. I watch it all the way through every time.
Fabulous.
Yep.
I love a Kinsey guy. I'm a Kinsey guy all the way to the bitter end. So that's where I go as far as this episode goes. And this is fantastic all the way through. It's well told. It's well written. I think this is one of the best scripts I've ever seen as far as like season 4 goes, until we get to like Exodus. And I go crazy over Exodus. Everybody screams about Windows of Opportunity. I'm more the Curse and an Exodus guy. Just to throw that out there for everybody. But Joe, was there anything about this with your script that you felt like maybe could have been like a little bit better, a little bit tweaked, or if you could have had a 2-parter, you would have been happy with it?
No, I would never. I know all the fans are always like, "Oh, this could have been a 2-parter," and no, there's never a time when I look at an episode and say that could have been a 2-parter. There's only one time that ever happened, and that was the episode Insurrection, which, on Stargate Universe, which I was. We usually work off outlines, and I was basically halfway through the outline and already at the end of the episode. And that was the one and only time when I realized this needs to be a 2-parter, and it was a 2-parter.
I will cry about that one personally.
Yep. Same.
How about you, Skeeter?
I love every bit of this episode, but I only had one nitpick.
Yes.
And it's tiny. It is when they're coming through the gate or waiting for the team SG1 to come through the gate. And we had the blast coming. It hit the window. And it just shook the window. But all the other blasts blew a hole in the concrete.
Yeah, no, it did hit the window. Yeah. That is right. And it blows up a computer thing that's in there. It's like, okay, did that run anything important? Because
the window is definitely not regular glass.
No, they did improve from other episodes where.
Because they broke it
before.
Like
glass shields come down as well.
Yep. But this one, you could see the glass getting hit by a blast from a staff weapon, and then they pull down, and then we watch everything else get destroyed. And there, I'm like, damn, they really improved that glass over from after
Tanane shot that arrow through in like season 1. Boom.
They learned that lesson
with some spears.
Yeah, I learned that lesson.
Yep. But that was it, really. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with this episode. It's well done, well wrote. Everything was done perfect to me.
Great.
Yeah, I don't have too much with this episode. I like that everybody had a role in this one. The script is really good. Just saying. And like this whole season so far has been very enjoyable. My only complaint is usually about like episode placement. Like maybe this episode should have been later in the season. This should have been moved forward. Yada yada yada. That could have been anything beyond my scope. That is above my pay grade. But I like the new idea of, hey, a general could come in and replace Hammond, and it's like,
yeah,
oh no, that could dive at you, and that is well within the scope of normal reality around here. They could replace Hammond at any time. They could force him out. So I like that concept, and Dennis Davies did a fantastic job. I've been a fan of him for years. I loved him even as a stunt double on MacGyver.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Like, but when he's getting ousted, I'm like, oh, you bastards want to do this? Okay, we're gonna do this apparently. And you do have a good actor coming in to replace him, and he does a great job trying to blow up a planet and see what Nakwita bomb can do, because that sets the stage for future seasons in this show. There's a lot that comes from this episode, even though you might feel like, oh, it's an Earth-based bottle episode. No, because you're about to find out in every season going forward, something comes from this one way or the other. So I don't have a nitpick about this one, other than, I know, Joe, you said, yeah, and two-parter to this, two-parter to that. This would have been a great mid-season cliffhanger to pull apart, and maybe you could have done more with Don. And that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. But like, this is a fantastic episode all in and of itself. Because then we roll into 2010, and it's like, okay, you got me. I'm pulling back from my 2-episode request on this one because 2010 follows this up. And I know that's written by Brad, but oh my God, like these two back to back are some of the best episodes of this season. And I'm like, man, these are like the best writers on the staff. And quite frankly, like this is the best season so far. I'm on record saying season 4 is my favorite, because that's what I got introduced to, but it's also because it's actually one of the best written I've ever seen, and the cast is on point. I don't have anything bad to say about this, and I'll roll us into our final scores, because I know we're rolling a little late on this, because this is your episode, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a straight up 9.5. I got no problem with this. I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I never give anything full marks anyways. There's always room for improvement.
But like, well, to be fair, I gave Cursed like a 10 because Darren was on her stream, and it's like my favorite episode. It's the one that won me over, because I love Osiris as the actress, and I'm like,
yeah, she was great.
It's the extra like bump and a half for what I would have given it. But Skeeter, what would you give this? And be fair.
Joseph, I am being fair. Like I said, I watched the show when it very first aired, every time it came on. My stepdad, when he was alive, he was like home same time I was when this show came on, and he was digging it because he was a police officer. He was in the military before, so he was starting to get into the show. And I got a comment about that in the next episode. But this episode, when it first aired, my stepdad was freaking out because I jumped off my couch. I'm like, fuck, oh, they're going to cancel this show. This is the last season. They're getting rid of him, and oh, it's all done and over.
Before we knew anything about syndicated TV shows and Showtime.
Yeah. And I was like, dang it. These guys are writing them off. That means it's the end. They're done. I'm like, I was so upset. And then you guys turned it around on me, and I was happy. So for running me through all kinds of emotions, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Great.
Joe, I'm going to throw you under the bus. What would you give your own score for this episode?
I would give it like I'd give this one like an 8.5.
Oh,
I'll say, yeah, 8.5.
Mhm.
Nice.
I'm a tough scorer.
Do you have a favorite episode of SG1? I know we're going to get you on in like the future for another
Mhm.
for the season ender, but like
Just
do you
overall,
have-
I think like I said, I like revisions, but probably Ripple Effect is my favorite.
Okay. That's pretty cool. All right, Thor, lay it down for us. You're the last one tonight before we get into 2010.
9.75. Great episode.
Oh wow! Okay.
Dang.
Mhm.
I like it. I love Mayborn. Mayborn's one of my favorite character. He is my favorite recurring character. And
well, you got the Mayborn bump and you got the Walter bump.
Yeah, that's right.
Because with our buddy Thor, our co-host here, if there's no Walter on these episodes, he gets a little angry.
He's been appearing more and more. That is another question. I don't know if you could answer that, but is there a reason? I know he comes more and more of a regular, but is there a reason why he wasn't a regular at the beginning?
Well, just because the character was not really part of the lore or wasn't a written character, wasn't like the character name. It was just like a gate technician. And just because he was actually so he appeared in so many episodes, they decided to give him a name and then the occasional line, and so he just kind of grew from that. It's like Sergeant Siler was just supposed to be a background character, and then over time,
poor guy, big wrench.
Exactly.
Gets pushed down the stairs and upgrades. Because Walter was in the very first episode, and he actually had lines there too. But.
Well, if I
think he was just referred to as gate technician. That's why there was this entire thing about I think he was given another name tag once.
Yep.
And then the name was changed, so he didn't have a name at the beginning. He was just known as gate technician.
Oh, okay.
From what little I remember from back in the day, from when I finally got introduced, is like they didn't want to give him the name Walter. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, whatever, when this debuts on Thursday. But like seriously, I always had the impression like because of the recurring characters and the cast names and the change in the scale from like first names to end of the credits sort of thing, they wanted him back so often that it was really hard to bring Gary Jones back and actually give him a full name. But once he became like a more important like background character, it was like, okay, we got to give him a name, and then we're going to give him a bump in the pay scale because the budget increased. I don't know if it was the budget thing or whatever.
No,
don't speak to that if you don't know it. I'm just
no,
saying,
I know.
like,
basically,
the
budget thing would have been so inconsequential for his character that I definitely can say that wouldn't have had anything to do with it.
Because I know in the next episode they finally give him a first name, which is let's scroll on over. We can get it right into it and wrap this up tonight. 2010. 10 years into the future, the former members of SG-1 must send a message into the past to prevent the extinction of the human race. Darren, brother, we got to talk again, bro. Because while this is largely true, if you want to tip people off, I would actually renovate this to a message into the past to prevent a possible problem with the human extinction of the race, because we don't know what they're doing until 2001. Or is it 2000, everybody? Please correct me.
2001.
2001. Because I know Brad Wright wrote this and Annie Makita directed this, but Joseph, I'm going to start with you on this. Do you have some favorite moments of this, or do you have any kind of insight into 2010? Because honestly, this is one of my favorite bottle episodes that we get two of, And I love how the second one ends because they start screwing over the Ashen like big time, but we never get that third one. Honestly,
Yeah,
do you have
so
any
they-
thoughts or
they-
memories on this one?
It's not a bottle episode. Bottle episodes are usually confined
done.
to like our standing sets. So this one we're going out. It's a fairly a wide open. We're shooting in Simon Fraser University, which was Tolana that we ended up blowing up.
That's where you shot this.
Between two
Oh,
fires.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look familiar.
Yeah.
I've been to Vancouver, so I know what you're
Yeah. I mean, I always find sci-fi kind of interesting, sort of what we imagine in our future. I mean, when did we produce this? This was like 1990. What was that, like 1999 or or 1998 or something like that? And we imagined 12 years in the future, and we'd have kind of these holographic displays and everything. And we still don't have that. Like almost like 30 years later. So little things like that I just kind of find kind of funny. For me, I always kind of love these time travel episodes where you can kill off our characters. So that I kind of liked. In terms of there's a funny line when we're at Jack's cabin, and I think he says, "I've retired, Carter. Lose the sir," but he can't even call her Sam.
Yeah.
And we kind of made a joke about that in the 200th episode where they're getting married, and he refers to her as Carter.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
And
right.
just I remember little things like there's that shot of the SG-1 team and Hammond, and that was actually like a promotional poster for Stargate SG-1 that I guess they just printed up and put in what I think it was the museum.
Oh, I got that clip. I'm playing it now.
And these people comprise the famous SG-1, arguably the most important, although not my personal favorite team of the entire command. And we're walking.
And we're walking. The question is what was her favorite SG?
Yeah, who knows?
It's left completely blank, and I love it because I've seen her in a couple other shows. So I think she's a fantastic actress, and you got the right person to do the and we're walking 3 times, and then Richard Dean Anderson as Jack O'Neill does it like, and we're walking. Skeeter, what do you got for some favorite moments about 2010?
Quite a few. I mean,
Really?
this is one of my top episodes of all episodes. I love this style of episodes. We meet Ambassador Joseph Faxon, which is played by Christopher Cousins, who I remember seeing him in Breaking Bad, and I was pointing him out. My wife's like, who, Ambassador who? And I'm like, Stargate. She's like, oh. So he was also in The Grudge 2, Wicker Park, For the Love of the Game, and he also played on Young and the Restless and General Hospital. So, and then we find out, Sam has got like a relationship with this guy, whether they're married or not. I never saw wedding rings, so I wasn't too sure.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I got something for you.
Oh. If it wasn't for you, we'd never even met the Ashen. I'll be back tonight, okay?
Outbound travelers to the Confederation planets, please stand by at the departure area.
That lucky man. That lucky man.
Poor doomed Joe Faxon.
I know.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
I love how you bring him back in like what was it, 2000, 2001?
2001, yeah.
Yeah, and that is brilliant. I'm like, oh, you're bringing it back, baby.
Yep. I love how these two connect, 2001 and 2010.
Yeah, too bad we didn't get that third installment.
Oh.
That was one question we were going to save for the end of this show. To ask, like, do you know how that third episode was going to go? Because we've always heard rumors and your own blog and stuff like that. Like it was going to be the Empire Strikes Back and the Ashen, like totally screw everybody over.
Yeah, that would be a question for Brad Wright. I mean, we never even got to the point where we could actually sit down and break the story because he never. I mean, I think Brad had the idea, but you know, it was never fully formed enough for him to bring it up in the room, and so we never got to break it, sadly. So
call us, Brad. Would love to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, calling you out now.
Yeah.
Don't make us get Jonathan Glasner on here. We'll do that too.
Ooh, yeah. We also see the teleporting area, which was awesome. I was like, oh, Asgard teleportation. Oh, no, not Asgard. Somebody else has this technology. That's pretty cool, the Ashen. So
I do like the idea of the Ashen are like so advanced and they're so like long-term planning.
Yeah.
That is my favorite part of this episode. Like, I don't know who came up with that idea, but that was like brilliant. Like, oh, this is like V.
Yeah.
From like the 80s. Like, bro,
I was just about to bring up.
You're gonna pull from something that nobody's probably seen in like 30 years. Let's go. Because I love that idea.
That was my next comment. I'm like, I getting the V feeling from the old show. We also get President Kenzie on
Fireside Chat, baby.
Yep. And then we see he's on an LED screen, which is pretty cool because everything else has been old CT monitors. You know, it's like.
Are you sure it's not plasma?
No, it's definitely LED because of the little dots in there. And trust me, I went to school.
I know, I'm messing with you.
I went to school for it, Jeff. Don't forget that. We also learned the Ashen gave us all kinds of cures, advanced medical, longer life serum, and a bunch of other technologies, but they're still withholding. What's that?
Oh, you cut out.
Oh, you cut out. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Joe. We don't hear you.
Did he mute himself? No?
I don't know.
Oh, no. He's... Oh.
Hang on.
There we go. We got you.
There we go.
Am I back? Okay.
Yep.
So what were you saying? Sorry.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Talking about Kizzy and his fireside.
No, I was saying what a nice bunch of aliens to help us out. Like
yes. Oh, yes, yes. They had no ulterior motives at all.
No.
Hey, let's cure cancer. Let's cure everything, and nobody's fertile for like the next like 500 years.
We also
this
meet
dude.
Mullen,
oh my god,
played by Don Luther, who I've seen in other shows I'm about to cover. He's been in Tom Stone, John Doe, UC Undercover, Smallville, which I remember his scene in there. And he was also in the 2003 movie Hulk, where he played Ravage. And the other movie he was in is The Time Tunnel, which I've seen. So, which I didn't make the connection until I looked it up. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. So.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to throw out. He's been in First Wave too.
Yep. I was going to leave that because I know that's your favorite. So.
Bro, that's how I got my name.
I know. So. Sam finding out she had have children, that was really tough to watch seeing because you could see the pain in her eyes, and Janet trying to comfort her. Then later on we see Sam knows how to read the Ashen, which she was trying to learn Polynesian. So I mean, or do the math for the mines. So that was in Polynesian. So Then we had the team or the scene. Yep, this is the scene too. I had a photo just like it, showing like this golden hour is what photographers call it, for wedding season and that. And we see the sunset happening at the golden hour time, which I'm kind of thinking they were hinting like this is the golden age of human race. We got all this technology, life is easier, everything's better, we're living longer, which is considered the golden age in our world history. So I was kind of wondering if that was a suggested hint, in this scene, but I don't know.
Well, this was largely written by Brad, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So
yes. Yeah,
Teamwork.
to be honest with you, yeah. I mean, we would kind of we would break the story in the room, but when it came to writing the scripts, we would kind of just go our separate ways and write the script. So this would be this is all Brad's inspiration.
Yep. So I kind of got that feeling that's what they're suggesting in it, just like a subtle tone in the background.
Yeah.
Then go back to mine here. Yep, there's that. Then we meet my favorite tour guide, who is just the SGC tour guide played by.
I love her. I met her once.
I recognized her right away because I watched Fringe, and I loved her in that too. First Wave she was in, and The Haunted.
She was Mary.
But also,
Season 3 Asylum, everybody, for First Wave. Just saying. I know First Wave. I'm a freaking nerd. Forgive me.
I bet you a lot of people didn't realize who this little boy was, but I recognized him right away. I didn't recognize when the show first came on because he was still new to the acting world. But when I rewatched it, I'm like, I know who that is. And
Educated Skeeter.
Yep. He does not have a name. He's just the kid. Played by Bryce Hodgson, who has been in iZombie, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days, Kid Cannabis, and the 2021 remake of Turner and Hooch. So, and I recognize him from Dog Days because my kids watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid when that was coming out. So, yeah, I was like, I looked at him, I'm like, I know this kid. Where have I seen him? And I'm like, oh, yeah, he was also in Turner and Hooch remake. So, yeah, that made my day. I was like, hey, I found something I bet you nobody noticed. So, we also get Walter's name finally. This is officially where he got his name, as we talked about earlier.
Richard was perfect with that. Oh,
Walter. That's like, I feel like it was like made up on the spot. Like he was just shooting through names and that one stuck. That's what I feel like.
Like that was like 7 scenes, and he's like, let's do this one more.
Like, yeah. Fred, no. Jimmy, no. Walter, yeah, that one sticks. So, we also find out while they're planning on what to write on the note, Jack tries to get future sporting wins so he can do a little gambling, I'm guessing. So, Sam learns that Joseph knew all along about the Shen. Was like her shock in that bathrobe, by the way, was nice. She was just devastated to find out he knew this entire time. And then a couple more. We got Doc Frazier at the end looking like she's ready to kick ass. And like I thought first time watching it, she's like going to pull up a Zat out of nowhere and get into this battle. But no, she just walked right through the gate. Like, go to Chulak, here you go, Teal'c. So then Teal'c
don't worry,
back.
she gets killed in 2 seasons.
Yep. So Teal'c, he could take those laser shots, but that Jaffa with him, he couldn't. He got like 6-7 shots and down. And Teal'c's like got 50-60 shots and he's still going. Like,
SG1 took quite a few shots.
Yep. Jack took a lot, almost made her. Daniel jumps
I got
in.
A Daniel death count here.
Come on, guys. We got another death for Daniel.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Daniel.
Oh my God! They killed Daniel. And then Sam.
I'm working on that. I'll have it finished.
Yeah.
Because I know the future seasons are gonna. He's dying a lot.
Oh yeah. And then, we see Sam come in and complete that mission, getting that note just barely through the gate. That was good. But that's what I had for good scenes that I enjoyed.
Joe, I know you didn't write this one, but you're a fan of science fiction and you love Stargate. You keep posting about it all the time. When it comes to like Stargate SG1 in season 4, are there other like episodes that you kind of like pinpoint as like these are really good, whether it's the boss Brad or anybody else, or is there anything about this episode in particular that you're like that was actually really good?
No, as I said, this episode is one of my favorites. Just I like time travel and I like the opportunity to study kind of the road not taken type of storyline. I love the opportunity it gives us to kill off some of our favorites. So in that respect, I
Yeah.
love it. And then just looking back over the show's run, I think season 4 was my favorite, just in terms of the episodes we wrote. Like I said, Scorched Earth, Window of Opportunity, Chain Reaction, The Curse, Point of No Return. Exodus was is that the finale for the season?
That's the finale. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is one of
Exodus.
my favorite finales
Yeah.
of this whole show,
Yeah.
in period.
And then I forget, there's one more. I think Prodigy was this one. That one I didn't love as much. That was about my least favorite of.
Oh man, you're gonna give Thor some ammo when we cover that episode.
Thank you, Joe.
I like
Thank
that
you.
No, that's cool though. There is a lot to like about this episode. It's very well done. Brad, good job, bro. Dave, do you got anything about this one that you like?
Basically the whole thing, except right at the end, but I'll get that in things I don't like. But yeah, no, the story, how we start off in the future. Sam is in a relationship with somebody else. Take that, shippers.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, it's just, it finds out she can't have kids.
If it wasn't for you, we'd never even met the Ashen. I'll be back tonight, okay?
Outbound travelers to the Confederation planets, please stand by at the departure area.
Laura Carter just can't get any luck.
I'm just saying, Amanda is fantastic when she has to do those kind of particular scenes that are not out of the ordinary of what she has to do as her character for Samantha Carter.
And yeah, and Janet's fantastic in this episode. Just her empathy towards Sam, and it's just nice seeing them all together. Just having
talk about heroes. I hate you.
And yeah, nice to see the team all just relaxing in a restaurant. Jack obviously is not there, and we get to find out why, because he had a bad feeling about the Ashen. He couldn't really put a finger on it, but he just didn't like him.
Well,
I mean,
and it carries through in 2001, honestly, because he's like, I don't know about these guys, and he's like, oh, this is. I love the Back to the Future kind of back and forth thing with this.
Yeah, no, that was excellent. 2001's also one of my favorites episodes. So, like the two episodes just work so well together. Yeah, I could probably talk about this one forever, but yeah, we will probably be good to get into favorite scenes.
Well, Thor, let's kick you off because you talked about favorite scenes. What you got, brother?
The first one is the Kenzie's fireside chat. It was too long to put the whole thing in.
I see you did 23 seconds.
But that's sped up because it was over 30. I had to speed it up a little bit just to get it down a little. So
that's my brother over there.
I read from Colonel Jack O'Neill's mission report of that first contact. These folks sound too good to be true. Willing to share their science and technology. Friendly. Smarter than we are. One thing's for sure. The Goa'uld are coming. The Ashen to save our asses.
Of course they will, as they make us infertile.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they do.
Have problems with that.
They do beat the Goa'uld, and we find out that was another thing too. Is
they
that
smoked the Tok'ra apparently at that point too.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they were probably using their biological weapons that they have in 2001 that they show that could specifically target your enemies. So chances are they were targeting the Goa'uld symbiotes, which probably killed a lot of Jaffa as well, which is why Tilk could only
Yep.
get one guy to come and help him at the
It
end.
sounds like the Tok'ra too, because there's what are left of the Tok'ra.
What?
Well,
Yeah,
they
who's left?
basically
of the Tok'ra?
demolished the Tok'ra from what the inference was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
wait, what? You smoked the Tok'ra and you beat the Gould? Like, what about the replicators?
Yeah.
We'll get to that at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Not in our
Do
galaxy.
people ever imagine converting a planet into a star?
No, I doubt it.
I should think you would have at least considered it, given the rapid growth of your population, the viability of the planet.
Well, humans just don't think quite as far ahead as the Ashen seem to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's here you get your first indication that the Ashen might not be the helpful people that they really show themselves to be. I mean, yeah, you get the indication that Sam couldn't have children and they were lying to her about that, but that scene there, I think, really hammers home that these guys are probably got something sinister underhanded on the way. And yeah, scene 3, clip 3.
Clip 3.
Walter. Right now, I need you to trust us. Just turn around, walk away. Pretend we weren't even here. I'll bring everything back, I promise. Thursday.
Then you'll tell me what's going on.
Absolutely everything.
I make you get more promo for us because we do Thursdays.
Yep. That's a good idea.
And clip 4 is Tilk, because he hasn't really had much to do the last 2 episodes.
You know what? That's actually true.
I'm sorry, sir, but weapons are not allowed.
We carry these for ceremonial purposes only.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to let me have it.
Very well.
You can have it.
Fantastic.
Oh man,
Joe, I know you didn't write this one, but did you have any opinions on anything you liked about 2010?
Yeah, you know what? I liked everything about this episode. The only thing I didn't like, and I'm just kind of rewatching it, was those little lasers at the end.
Yeah, right?
That basically are like cannot target for shit, and basically they're like little mosquito bites.
Yeah.
That, you know, I mean, I see why kind of they did it so that it's kind of a kind of more dramatic moment, but lasers are kind of lightweight, pretty pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
I thought.
Yeah, I feel if they would have wore a heavier parka, they might have been okay.
Good point.
It'll only affect their skin, but not their clothing.
Yeah.
At all.
Or just throwing this out there, like if it was inferred that or implicated that the little shots being fired were like 10 times worse than a Zat gun, and that's how they defeated the Jaffa and the Gold.
Right.
I know that's super nitpicky. That's all I'm throwing out. Skeeter, how about you?
For lines. Yeah. Once again, had to cut down a lot. This is one of my top favorite episodes. Sam saying when they find out, the first time or the second time really, that they're not having kids, she says, we just need to keep trying. Joseph's like, I don't mind keeping on trying. Yeah.
Most guys don't.
Yeah. Frasier, when she's in the room, they're looking at the Ashen core. You can read this? It's like, yeah. That was a surprise. Yep. Frasier saying she had a lot of good lines in this too. Okay, wait a second here. We are considering changing the lives of the entire human race here on Earth. Do we have that right? Sam says, if we don't, we will live to see the end of the human race on Earth, which was like a very powerful line to me. But yeah, that's it. Do change everything over the last 10 years or just watch ourselves die?
Sorry, Cassie, you ain't saving this planet.
No, not this time. Sam saying, so this is the place where you kept threatening to take me when she shows up at Jack's cabin here. It's like, yep. Come on, come fishing with me up to Minnesota.
He got Teal'c there.
Yeah, he got Teal'c.
Yeah.
Then when they're discussing about how she was wrong about them, Jack's like, gosh, I wish I seen that coming. Oh, wait, I did see that coming. Couple more here. Jack saying, no more saving the world. It's just a nice pond with no pesky fish in it. And the single most pressing issue in my life is whether or not to get a dog. There's a lot of pros and cons. So,
and your dog was in the last episode anyway.
Yep. Final two I got here is the tour guide when they get to the gate, and she says,
God.
photos are $27 each, and please do not touch the gate. It leaves fingerprints.
I died with that this last time I watched this through. I'm like, oh my God, who wrote that?
I don't know, but it was priceless. And then the final one, when they're in the room trying to figure out the solar flare, Daniel goes, the sun is beeping.
My favorite line would probably be like, so what do they call the room?
Yeah.
Oh, the gate room.
No.
Oh,
No, it's the embarkation room. And Daniel's like, no, it's the gate room. No, Daniel, I'm sorry, bro. For 2 seasons, it was the embarkation room.
Yeah. I think they even say it in the very first episode, right? The
Yeah, they say it for quite a while.
Yeah.
They do that for about the first 2 seasons.
Yep.
Then they bring out some. I ain't gonna finish that thing. But they there's a lot of good stuff with like dialogue in both these episodes. But was there anything you guys maybe didn't like, Joe? 2010.
For me, it was just the little lasers.
Just the lasers.
Aside from that, I really enjoyed the episode.
Not a problem. I would agree with you because I don't have a really problem with this entirely because it's a nice break from the pace. We're not dealing with the Gould, we're not dealing with the replicators, we're not dealing with anybody else, but like, oh, we might have a new problem here that could probably be a very big issue down the road because the Ascent, like the plan long term, I'd almost my head canon is like, oh, these two and the Tolan would probably go crazy for like 300 years. But how about you, Supreme Commander Thor, Mr. Dave? Got anything you would nip about this, or what does
just like I love this episode. I watch it every time. It's just the last action scene drives me crazy from a tactical point of view. Jack swinging in, that was totally unnecessary because if he would have went down the
Daniel was worse, bro.
It was a MacGyver move.
If he would have went down the escalator, he would have ended up closer to the gate than what he was when he was swinging down. It's like, because when Carter comes running down the escalator, she's right there. She picks up the note, tosses it through. It's like, what? Come on.
Well, she's also got her husband screaming like, "Shut it off! Stop it! Shut it off! Stop it!"
Oh, they're still
She
shooting
got some
her
sort
though.
of political
So
entity like screaming, and the computer systems would have to acknowledge like there's something going on here. Maybe we need to pause. But she still gets shot. She still gets dead. So all of SG-1 is dead.
yeah, I don't mind about that. It's just I would have, like go down the escalator, dude. You would have probably been closer and might have made it yourself.
He had to relive his MacGyver days.
I guess, eh?
Well, that's
the only thing I have.
Oh my God, don't get me started. I love MacGyver. And when he did SG-1, I'm like, oh, wow, for the guy who never wanted to do guns. Oh, okay.
And I like the fact that he shot Melon.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Skeeter, how about you? Was there anything that maybe didn't work for you?
There's not really anything, but I do have one little nitpick, and you actually got a slide of it, sort of. Right here. Why were they shooting
the ears
I know
with the
they're
guns going
yeah,
off?
I know they're blanks, but any other ceremony, all the ceremonies I've been to, they shoot outside. If
Well,
even
yeah,
if it's a huge building.
I didn't want to say it because
Why were they shooting
yeah,
inside?
those glass ceilings.
Yeah. Even a blank, there's enough pressure, that could, damage the glass or something, because there's powder and some shrapnel comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, inside, I didn't get that. I don't know why that was. They could have done, the ceremony outside or something or next to the building, but no, they're shooting inside. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any
That's
sense
different.
to me. Yep, that's my only little nitpick. Besides, we covered the lasers, which I thought were kind of little like, are we shooting BBs at them? Or
It was almost a little from like
Yeah.
bing, bing, bang.
Yep.
Like little finger cannons, so
Mhm.
to speak. Yeah, for me, I don't really have a problem with this episode. I think Brad and like most of the writing staff at this point, I know Joe, you're on with this. I'm gonna fire a general statement here. Like, the writing's on point, honestly. My only problem with this particular season in a general sense is like some episode orders. Like, we could have moved a few things in and about and around. But 2010, like between this and Chain Reaction, this is like the double feature you want for this season because it escalates things, gives you character development, it gives you a little bit of everything you want, a little bit of the Jack O'Neill and Carter sort of like little tension, so to speak, but it doesn't dwell on it. It doesn't build on it. It's just like, yeah, it's still there, but like, no, we got problems here still. So it's still building to that. And I like that escalation of character development. Daniel has some good moments between Chain Reaction in 2010. Teal'c, 2010, he still has a part to play, but it's not so much the Jaffa Nation, but they do infer things that are going on with the Jaffa within 2010 because the Goa'uld are abolished. So there's a lot to like, wait, where are we going from here? And that's why the next episodes are going to be so important in building up to the season finale with like Double Jeopardy. I know Double Jeopardy's like one of my absolute favorite like two-parters, so to speak, going back to a different season. And I think that's great. But like Exodus is one of my, I will go on record, Exodus is my favorite season finale of any show, period. I think it's pinch point. And when it comes back to season 5, it's even better. I think it's brilliant. It reminds me of Space Above and Beyond. And Joseph, I know you acknowledged it on Twitter at one point. Like, Space Above and Beyond is a fantastic show that I feel like at least gave proof that Stargate SG-1 could be a great TV show, and it excelled as a great TV show. And before we wrap up, everybody, let's give some scores and let's send Joseph on out of here because he's on Eastern time, and so is Dave. I don't want to keep you too terribly late tonight because we're already like a little bit over. But Dave, give us your score, brother.
9.80. I like it just a smidge above Chain Reaction. If it would be a 10 if it wasn't for that last little bit of a scene, but I can forgive it, and it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of watching the entire episode.
9.80. That's oddly specific, dude. Joe, I know you didn't write this one, but be fair. What would you score 2010? I know you say you really like this one, but
yeah, this is my favorite.
Let's make you pinpoint a score here.
I would give it a 9.
There you go.
Maybe 9.5. 9.5.
There we go.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, don't tell us, but do you have a favorite episode of Stargate SG-1? Whether it's yours you worked on or not?
This is actually probably my favorite episode of SG1, and other ones I've worked on, probably Ripple Effect is my favorite.
Okay. Didn't have to tell us, but that's cool. Thank you. Skeeter, what you got for a score?
This is, like I said earlier, one of my all-time favorites. I love time traveling shows, and I love how this is done so well on Stargate SG1. They do a great job of their time traveling. And besides that little nitpick about the guns, this is one of my tops. This is an 11 out of 10 for me. I really love it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Going over the
That's
10-point scale, bro.
Second one for that. So,
man, you're gonna make me look bad because I gave Darren a 10 on the Curse movie or the episode because that's my personal favorite because I love Osiris and and Anna. But frankly, like I'm gonna give this a straight up like 9 point. I'm gonna say 9.5. I love it. I think the next one is actually a bit better, 2001, because you come back around and the ending of that one is so poetic. It's just, it feels so bad. We never got around to it. Not going to pinpoint anybody on, hey, Brad, calling you out, brother. Come on over. We want to ask you about maybe that. But like these are the Ashen episodes are what legitimately won me over on the show entirely. I liked the show before it when I got introduced by Rainmaker Digital. Gonna give you guys a shout out yet again, because in 2000 you told me I need to watch this show, and I did, and I loved it from season 4 on. And this and the previous episode with Chain Reaction, swear to God, no smoke up asses, but Train Reaction 2010 where I'm like, oh, I'm buying DVD sets and I'm all in on Showtime. I subscribed to Showtime. I bought the DVD sets. I recorded reruns on VHS tapes, which I still have at my dad's house. I can prove it with pictures in about 3 or 4 months. So I got one over. Thank you, Rainmaker Digital guys, and all the production at Peace Arch in Vancouver for First Wave. So, yeah, this is the best arc I saw that won me over, and it made me want to go back and watch everything else. And so, thank you, Joseph, for joining us tonight.
I know this for having me.
Yeah, I know this wasn't like your episode. We'd like to have you on like your episodes, and we couldn't get you on for Windows of Opportunity, but you probably get asked about that one like all the time anyway.
I do, yes,
but like between this one and like Exodus, like thank you so much for wanting to join us.
Thank you. Thanks
appreciate
for yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
And before we head on out, you want to let everybody know what social medias you're on, anything you maybe you're working on. If you want me to clip it out, this is only being recorded.
Sure. No, I mean, I have my blog, josephmalozzi.com, where I've been blogging every day since the Stargate days. But if you're on X/Twitter, that's where you can really find me as Baron Destructo. I'm always gettable there. So yeah, I mean, then that's it. And then just kind of working, developing, taking projects out, and who knows what the future holds.
All right. Clip here. Dave, let everybody know where they can find you at.
I am on X or Twitter, however you want to call it. We are going through Prisoners on my Every Stargate Frame in Order, about 1/3 of the way through, and make sure you check out my buddy John over at Every SGA Frame in Order. He is on Hide and Seek, probably about halfway through the episode.
He's going to get there eventually. And Skeeter, let everybody know where they can find you at and what you got coming up next, brother.
You can always find me here on the Suns and Shadows Network on Thursday nights for the Stargate Files. And I'm back on Saturdays for Deadwire Live. There's only a couple days I'll be missing from there, but otherwise I'm back for the winter season.
You got them Hanson concerts. You got to attend
you and
to.
your Hanson.
Dude, I got to do that on a Stargate stream at least once.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can find me on X as Skeeter. The Skeeter, the Stargate Files, or Instagram or Facebook, the Stargate Files.
All right. And everybody, thank you for tuning into Chain Reaction in 2010. This is a pre-recorded video, so thank you for all tuning in. Thank you, Joseph, for tuning in and joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad we could figure this out for you, and we'll have it figured out in the future as well. So we'll make this
We'll do
work.
this again next time.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below, subscribe down below, hit the bell notifications so you can stay tuned for all of our video content. Also, check out I said Date World, I say Gate World, and Dial the Gate. They got some fantastic interviews. They got Rob Cooper. They got Joseph on quite often, and they got a bunch of fun content going on. And Darren absolutely is a... Darren and David are fantastic people. Want to give them a shout out on that. So please, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all next time.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Stop by anytime. In fact, I'll take you fishing. I'd love to do that. There's this lake in northern Minnesota where the bass grow that big. Well,
Don't call us. We'll call you.
We better get out of here. No, really? No, really.
you will go. Right. You'll go.
Think it gets showtime?